Welcome to part 3 of this series on why conservatives protect their predators. In part 2, we talked about what is evangelicalism, what is it, where does it come from, and what was the foundation for evangelicalism to become so powerful in American politics. So, what's Christian nationalism? Christian nationalism is a belief that evangelical Christians, namely white evangelical Christians, should dominate every aspect of American life. That includes social, civic, and government. Jerry Falwell, a Baptist minister from Virginia, was largely responsible for what we now call the Christian right. Falwell believed that Jim Crow racial segregation was God's will. So in 1967, when Virginia mandated the immediate desegregation of public schools, Falwell responded by starting his own private Christian academy for Christian white children. In 1971, he started Liberty University, which is no stranger to its myriad of abuse scandals, but also to this day continues to churn out a consistent supply of Republican Party staffers. In 1979, he founded the Moral Majority, which forever changed the landscape of American politics by cementing Christian evangelicalism and Christian nationalism to the Republican Party. The Moral Majority is largely credited for why Ronald Reagan won the presidential election in 1980. It was a political group that fought against abortion rights and homosexuality as a part of the Christian rights culture wars. Before the 1980s, abortion rights was largely seen as a Catholic issue because Protestant groups generally were favorable towards abortion rights. In fact, in 1973, when the Supreme Court passed Roe v. Wade, making a landmark decision that the Constitution protects abortion rights, the Southern Baptist Convention replied that it was an advancement of religious liberty, human equality, and justice. By the 1980s, they very drastically changed their view. Falwell worked with his colleagues using Christian media and propaganda to convince evangelical voters that abortion is a sin. But his issue was never with abortion, it was rage against desegregation that led evangelical leaders to leverage the abortion issue to mobilize more Christian voters into conservative politics. It became the flagship issue of the Moral Majority because it was a lot more palatable to tell Christian voters, hey, we're trying to save the babies, than to overtly admit that they were against desegregation. As we know, in 2022, Roe v. Wade was overturned, and another father of evangelicalism, Dr. James Dobson, was largely responsible for the overturn. Now, he too didn't oppose abortion rights until it became advantageous for the evangelical Christian nationalist agenda to do so. If you'd like to talk more about Dr. James Dobson's impact, follow me for part 4. But also, please do check out my website, survivingreligiousnarcissism.com. Thank you.